Orb on the Movements of the Earth is not just an anime about astronomy, it's a philosophical and emotional journey through a time when questioning the natural order of the world was a death sentence. Set in 15th century Europe, the anime follows a series of individuals who challenge the geocentric model, the belief that Earth is the center of the universe, and seek the truth about heliocentrism, the idea that the Earth revolves around the sun. At its core, this is a story of struggle, sacrifice, and the relentless pursuit of knowledge in a world where the church dictates what people are allowed to believe. Every character introduced serves as a piece of a much bigger puzzle, one that spans across decades, showing how knowledge is passed from one person to another despite oppression. Now, let's break down the major themes and what truly happens throughout the 25 episodes. Act 1, The Birth of Curiosity takes place from episodes 1 to episode 7. Meet Raffle, the first torchbearer of knowledge. The first few episodes introduce us to Raffle, a brilliant yet humble scholar who dares to ask questions about the movement of the stars. He is mentored by Master Humbert, a scientist who secretly supports the heliocentric theory. Under Humbert's guidance, Raffle begins to see the inconsistencies in the church's teachings. However, the danger of knowledge becomes apparent when Humbert is arrested and executed for heresy. This serves as the first major tragedy of the series. But rather than giving up, Raffle continues his master's work in secret, compiling data that could one day change the world. The church's iron grip. The show does an amazing job of portraying how science and faith were deeply intertwined at the time. The church fears new discoveries because they could undermine its authority. We see inquisitors and religious figures constantly hunting down those who question doctrine, forcing scientists into hiding. One of the most intense moments in these early episodes is when Raffle witnesses another scholar burned at the stake. The horror of this scene solidifies what's at stake. Knowledge equals death, but instead of being discouraged, Raffle meets an underground group of scholars, showing that curiosity and truth cannot be silenced so easily. In Act 2, titled The Torch is Passed, which takes place from episode 8 to episode 16, there is new characters with the same mission. The anime then shifts focus from Raffle to new generations of scholars. This is where the episodic storytelling structure comes into play. Each new protagonist builds upon the knowledge of the last, showing that even if one person dies, the truth doesn't die with them. The emotional high point. The betrayal and the execution, which happened from episode 12 to episode 14, are some of the most tragic in the series. One of the scholars, Niccolò, is betrayed by a close friend and handed over to the church. His execution scene is devastating because it's not just about one man's death, it's about the crushing weight of authority destroying progress. However, before his death, Niccolò manages to pass his notes to a young boy, ensuring that the flame of knowledge keeps burning. This sequence brilliantly illustrates the core theme of the anime. Even if one person falls, the pursuit of truth will never stop. In Act 3, titled The Final Struggle, episodes 17 to 25, there is Albert's journey, the youngest seeker of truth. In episode 17, we meet Albert, a young prodigy who stumbles upon the hidden knowledge left behind by Raffle and the others. Unlike the previous scholars, Albert is born into a slightly more tolerant time, but the dangers still exist. Episode 25, the devastating finale. The final episode delivers a gut-wrenching emotional climax. Albert, after spending years compiling evidence of the Earth's movement, returns home to find his family murdered, a brutal reminder that no matter how much progress is made, the world isn't ready to accept the truth just yet. In a heartbreaking yet inspiring moment, Albert chooses to keep fighting. Rather than falling into despair, he vows to pass the knowledge forward, just as those before him did. The last scene, showing the spread of scientific books in secret, symbolizes that humanity is moving forward even if it's slow and painful. Final thoughts. What does this all mean? Orb on the Movements of the Earth is more than a historical anime, it's a love letter to science, philosophy, and human resilience. Key takeaways from the anime. Heavy checkmark: knowledge is dangerous, but it's worth fighting for. Heavy checkmark: no single person can change the world alone, but each contributes to progress. Heavy checkmark: oppression may slow down the truth, but it can never fully erase it. Heavy checkmark: scientific revolutions are not sudden. They take generations of sacrifice. The show doesn't just tell a story, it asks us to think. It reminds us that every piece of technology, every scientific law, every bit of knowledge we take for granted today exists because someone in the past risked everything to seek the truth. This is why the anime's ending is bittersweet yet hopeful. The fight isn't over, but the movement continues. Final verdict: fire animation and art. 9 out of 10, gorgeous medieval aesthetic, haunting execution scenes, fire story and themes. 10 out of 10. A masterpiece in historical storytelling. Fire characters, 9 out of 10. Many characters come and go, but they all serve a purpose. Fire emotional impact, 10 out of 10. Prepare to cry, get angry, and feel inspired. Fire overall rating, 9.5 out of 10. A must-watch for those who love deep, thought-provoking anime. Final question for the viewer: so now that you've seen all 25 episodes and understand the bigger picture, let me ask you this: would you have risked everything to seek the truth in a world that wants to silence you? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you loved this review, don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dive anime content. Move a camera. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay curious. Move a camera.